What's going on, MMA fans? I'm back to do my UFC 100 review video. I'm going to go over the fights I did predictions on. A very good event, one of the best events we've had this year, so make sure that if you didn't get a chance to see this, make sure you go check it out. For those of you that were following my Twitter account, please let me know if you like that. I tried to be interesting with the round-by-round updates, but I had so much going on as far as sitting there talking to my girlfriend. I had other people I was talking to, so hopefully I tried to keep it interesting. Just let me know how you like that and if you were following that or not. So let's go ahead and get right down to it. First fight of the night, Yoshihiro Akiyama taking on Alan Belcher. A very good fight. Both guys had good 1-2 combinations, good leg kicks, good high kicks. Akiyama had a couple nice judo sweeps where he actually got Belcher down to the ground, one of which we got Belcher into side control. Belcher had good combinations, was working some different parts on the ground with a rubber guard, looking for an omoplata almost. This was a really, really close fight. You could have scored it for either guy. I had the first round barely Belcher, the second round I had for Akiyama, and the third I had for Belcher. But you could have easily given the first round to Akiyama, which would have given him a 29-28 decision. The only thing I did not agree with on this fight was one of the judges gave Akiyama the fight 30-27. Neither fighter, Belcher nor Akiyama, won all 3 rounds, in my opinion. So I don't agree with that. I think that we've seen this over the past year and a half. The judging has continued to get atrocious. And I think it wasn't bad overall in this card. It just was in this fight. One of the judges, I don't know what literally he's looking at. And that's the thing, is there's so many, different aspects of MMA that's why the 10-point must system really should not be used in MMA. But for right now, it is what it is. All right, next fight, Dan Henderson taking on Michael Bisping. Dan Henderson controlled this fight, did really well in the pocket. Bisping was the quicker guy, he was trying to use footwork, use the counter. But Henderson just kept running in on him, using that lead inside leg kick, overhand right, jab combination. Used it really well in the first round. In the second round, catches Bisping, running to his left, throws the inside leg kick, overhand right, drops him, and then comes over with the forearm shiver, similar to what he did to Wanderlei Silva, and puts Bisping to sleep if he wasn't already asleep. So congratulations to him. If anyone had any questions about Dan Henderson, they should have been answered with this fight. Whether he gets Anderson Silva or the winner of Demi and Maya, Nate Marquardt, we'll have to see. But congratulations to him. Great to see Dan Henderson back on track, not only with his winning ways, but with a vicious statement that he put in this fight. All right, next fight, George St. Pierre taking on Thiago Alves. Not really much to say about this fight other than the fact that George St. Pierre was able to get takedowns, control position, had Alves on the ground, was really able to control him on the ground, had some good shots, lasted on the feet, even though Alves, I think, had some of the better combinations on the feet. He was able to, use some good combinations. Actually dropped Alves in this fight with a left counter hook, if I remember right. Almost finished the fight, but, George St. Pierre is just unbelievably amazing at wrestling, considering the fact that he never wrestled in high school, he never wrestled in college, and the fact that he's the best wrestler in MMA is just absolutely amazing. And we got to see that even in this fight with a guy that has had better takedown defense in his last couple fights. So congratulations to George St. Pierre. He's got a stacked welterweight division behind him. He still has some fights there, but it would be interesting to see how he fares against Anderson Silva. All right, next fight, the main event. Frank Mir taking on Brock Lesnar. Another fight where a lot of questions were answered. And when I say questions were answered, the same could have been said for the Akiyama fight. Many people thought that he would, be jittery, wouldn't, would have some problems acclimating to the cage. And he answered all those questions, looked very good in his fight. And, in this fight with Lesnar, he stuck to a really good game plan, which is, what I would have used in a fight like this. The game plan coming in, it looks like they told him that if you go to the ground, control, 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 body to body, do not give him any space. And Lesnar did exactly that. It may have been boring you know, at some points where he wasn't doing anything, but it's the smart way to go. That's how, you know, guys that continually progress in the sport, that get better and better, are the ones that formulate good game plans and formulate ways to beat and nullify a guy with their strengths. And Lesnar did exactly that in this fight. You know, he was able to land some shots inside of Mir's half guard. He had almost like a full Nelson around his neck, controlling his head and then throwing those shots. In the second round, was able to stop Frank Mir, retain his title, win via, they said knockout, but, you know, it really was a TKO. Stops him against the cage. Really, in that division, there's not very many guys. The only other guy that I can think of that's going to give him problems is Shane Carwin, but we'll have to see how that plays out. But as for, you know, Lesnar's comments after the fight, you know, you have to respect the guy as a fighter. You have to respect the, you know, the fact that he gets in the cage, puts his body on the line. Do you have to respect his comments? No. And you know, honestly, I'm not surprised, because that's the type of personality that he has. It's what he brought from the fact, you know, from his college days he was like that, to even into, you know, the WWE or WWF, whichever you want to call it, and even now into MMA, he's translated that same personality. He's always been like that. I'm not surprised by it. Was it, you know, some of the correct things to say? I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. But nonetheless, good fight. Congratulations to Brock Lesnar. You know, continually, you know, progresses in his fights. He looked good in this fight. The last fight of the night, this was after the main event. John Fitch taking on Paulo Thiago. John Fitch, unanimous decision. You know, the only things that surprised me in this fight was the fact that Fitch, even though he controlled position, he wasn't able to land any dominant shots. He actually let Thiago almost get a couple takedowns on him and some scrambles. He had Thiago's back a couple times, was looking for the rear naked choke. Tried to get it later in the third round, in fact, and almost had it before the time expired. But, you know, congratulations to him. He controlled this fight, controlled the stand-up, controlled positioning on the ground, and he goes on to win a unanimous decision. So he's back, you know, working his way back up to his winning ways as well. So, nonetheless, this was a good event. Make sure you check it out if you did not get a chance to see it. Tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, myself and Karsten, the MMA analyst, will be doing MMA XL Radio. I will put the link up over in the description side. Make sure you leave some comments, constructive, negative, positive, and also check out my sponsors. So on that note, you guys, have a great day.